You're watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Service Drive right here on CBTnews.com. Customers don't always believe us, and when it comes to service, if they can't see it, half the time they decide, maybe I don't need it done right now. On today's show, Tom Druzynski, who's the Director of Service Operations at West Herr Automotive Group, you've seen him here before on CBT News, joins us once again to share how his group is using video MPIs for customers. Thanks so much, Tom, for joining us on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, isn't it true that customers are like, well, do I really need brakes? What's the situation there? But video changes all of that, doesn't it?
It really does. This is something that we decided to invest in last year. So we're not front runners in this technology, but we are still in that kind of somewhat early adopter phase.
Okay.
We jumped in last year. We bought iPhones for every single technician. We have 650 technicians. Everybody got an iPhone.
Wow.
Specifically to do this process.
Yeah.
One of the things we find, it's one of the longest running jokes in our industry is the muffler bearings, the blinker fluid. The reason that those things carry on is because people just don't understand the workings of a vehicle, right? So when they come to a dealer, they come to a repair facility, that's one of the biggest anxieties that they're going to have, right? They don't know if they're going to be told the truth. They don't know if they're going to be taken advantage of.
That's right.
And nobody wants to look silly and ask questions and admit that they don't understand.
Right.
So that video is the perfect way to bridge the gap and to show that customer, hey, listen, we just report the news, right? That's what we do in service. We don't spin it any direction.
Right.
We're going to tell you exactly what your car needs, exactly when it needs it. And in this case, we can show you. You can see it with your own eyes. Makes it way more easy to understand what we're doing, where the component is, and to truly see that it needs the things that we're telling you that it needs.
That's right. That's right. And it's so true. People are, very skeptical. They're already skeptical of car dealers, right? Just by the nature of them being car dealers. So this just helps in a very, very big way. So how are advisors presenting the video to the customer to maximize that approval process?
It's wonderful because we're allowed to connect with the customer and communicate with them in the manner that they want to be communicated with, right? So we can utilize text and text them the video along with the multi-point inspection sheet so that they can see it.
Okay.
With a little note from the advisor. These are some notes about what your vehicle needs. I'd like to call and connect. Some of the easier things can be sold directly via text, right? If a car just needs an air filter or something minor. We also have the ability to email the video to the customer. So whichever way they would like to receive it, we have the ability to send it to the customer in that fashion. And it's nice to watch the number of times that those videos are watched, but it's even cooler to see the number of times that those videos get shared. They're sending the videos to other people.
Sure, I can see that.
Hey, look what my dealer sent me, or show them what the vehicle needs. And again, it just continues to spread that level of trust throughout. The more people they share it to, the better.
Right. Or even if it's one person, it's the wife's car and she wants to share it with the husband to say, hey, this is what they're telling me, or the husband wants to share it with the wife, or whatever the case might be. Or maybe there's a brother-in-law that really knows cars real well. Does my car really need this? So I could definitely see where those are being shared for sure. Outside of just the normal, hey, wow, I got this full video, from my car dealer. That's pretty impressive in and of itself.
It works just as good on the internal side as well. So when you're dealing with your used cars and you've got a busy used car manager that maybe doesn't have a chance to go back and put eyes on that vehicle, you're showing them the exact condition. They're seeing the undercarriage. They can get a quick view of, whether this thing is rotted. We're Western New York with the salt.
Yeah.
So is this thing rotted? Do we not want to put this car out there? And again, it just continues to build that trust. So now that they're not necessarily going to question when we tell you need something, you need it. Again, it's just reporting the news.
Yeah, no question about it. And your used car manager he's going to remind you every day he is your largest client, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're right. It does make it a lot easier to fly through those different things. Are there certain repairs or conditions where video really makes the biggest difference in the customer understanding and therefore approving?
It depends. Some of the repairs, it's difficult when you're dealing with an electrical situation. They don't necessarily see that.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with repairs, right? And that's one of the things as a dealer, you get a lot of the early maintenance services while the vehicle is still under warranty. But then things like tires, right? The customer, to be able to show them the condition of the tires on the vehicle while it's there, they see it, they understand it. That's the biggest defection point in our business.
Yeah.
So being able to sell customer tires and show them what's going on is a great part of it. But then when you've got other mechanical repairs where I can show you a broken spring, I can show you an oil leak, I can show you maybe why it's so difficult to repair this particular component, right? Because as we're going through it, this, and this all have
Yeah.
to come out. I've got to remove this over here. So it's nice to be able to show customers those. But those are the sorts of repairs and things that we're missing as a dealer body. Because again, we don't always do the best job at explaining and showing the customers what's going on.
Yeah.
The other nice thing for us is show them when it doesn't need anything. That's even better and more powerful than when it needs.
That builds trust really quick.
Absolutely. That's been the mantra in this business forever with the multi-point, right?
Yeah.
Sell the green. We're going to sell the green. So when we could say, hey, congratulations, Jim, your vehicle doesn't need anything. Look, it's perfect. Underneath it's spotless. Tires look great. Brakes
Nice.
look great.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job taking care of the car. Thanks for choosing us. And then you can get the customer on with their day.
I like that. That's just as important as showing them that there's a problem. Hey, out of your 650 technicians, that's amazing. That's a lot of people that would like to come after those technicians. But out of the 650, did you get any pushback from master techs or those people out there that go, hey, Tom, I mean, I'm ringing the bell over here. I'm knocking, the cover off the ball with regard to the number of hours turned and how much we're making, and I'm not going to do videos.
We did. We got quite a bit of pushback at first, and we had people that were asking for, we want to be paid to do the videos. Same sort of thing that we went through when you go from doing a regular multi-point to an electronic multi-point. If you remember, technicians. But it became very obvious very quickly that doing the video made a significant difference in many things, right?
Okay.
The hours that are produced on those repair orders, the closing percentages get better. The time to get a yes from a customer gets much better, so I can keep my technicians in their bays longer, allowing them to turn hours. We actually had a technician committee meeting yesterday where we select one technician from each location to come in and speak to senior leadership, and we just hear what they have to say. And one of the guys that was the most vocal about not wanting to do it is now our biggest advocate. And he said it took a while for him to go from just checking a box to he started to see how much better they were doing at actually selling work in that store. And now he was pushing other technicians that this just has to be done. You've got to do it on every car, whether it needs something or not. It really was fantastic to see. It was a pretty quick turn.
And by the way, it should be said that wherever these technicians are going to go in the future, this is probably going to be part of their daily routine, right? So it will be. You can fight me now, or you can fight the industry later. But this is where the industry's going, right? Because if you're going to West Herr and you get a video, and then of course they go to your competitor and they go, hey man, just send me the video. And the dealer says, what video? What are you talking about? Well, West Herr they'll send me a whole video. You can be sure they're going to go, wait a minute, time out. We need to do videos. So this is something that is running through the industry pretty quickly, right?
Yes, and more of the manufacturers are requiring it. Mazda, Audi, there's quite a few, and there's quite a few more that are getting on board as we speak.
Right.
And will be requiring video. It's going to be part of their factory programs, and they're going to have preferred vendors and all those sort of things. So it's not going away. I'm excited about it. In my opinion, it's one of the biggest evolutions of our business since we went to the electronic multi-point. This is just a new way for us to be able to do business with our customers.
Sure. Now, do you have to provide ongoing coaching and role play, or maybe feature in the training, the best videos, maybe even the worst videos? I don't know. Maybe that's a learning curve. A learning point as well to say, hey, we're going to show you a video, never do this. But talk to me about the coaching.
And we do. And I'm thankful enough for the size of our group that I have a specific coach for those advisors.
Oh, that's good.
But one of the things that I found pretty quickly, and shame on me, right? It's inspect what you expect. I pushed so hard on utilization that I didn't stop to look at the quality of the videos that we were putting out. So now we do have a process where we monitor the videos. We watch a certain amount each month. We give them grades based on our expectations for the things that are done in the videos. It is something that you do have to pay attention to, because there will be guys and girls that'll just check the box. They're going to send out a video with no speech. They do a quick walk around of the car and they go, hey, I did the video. It's done. So you really do have to pay attention to that.
Right.
That's a pretty important part.
Do you think this will one day be part of the technician training, when they're in trade schools to say, okay, now today we're going to be spending some time on how to do a video, right? I can see that happening.
Yes, we're already working on that. So again, with our size, we've got some college programs that we've developed with a local community college, and working on making sure that they have that technology in the school so that they can get used to it, they can see it.
Right.
It absolutely will become part of the training. It's just it will become just a part of the fabric of the way that we do business as an industry.
Right. Right. Now you had 650, or you have 650 technicians, and you got them all iPhones in order to do this. I would venture to say, and I'm just taking a guess here, those iPhones paid for themselves in the first week of utilization, just in the job approvals, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We looked at the the hours per repair order on the stores, the hours that are sold on a customer pay repair order, and the growth across the stores is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've got some brands that are experiencing a downturn in their customer pay RO count, just because of the natural decline in the business from the sales departments over the last couple of years.
Sure.
And some of those sort of things. But yet the hours have actually gone up.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Now that's the inventory as a service department. That's what we have to sell, right? We buy hours from our technicians, sell them to our customers.
Yeah.
So hours is really all that we have to sell. That's our goal. And seeing an RO count that sadly has declined a little bit, but the hours increasing, to me, is an absolute victory.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you've mentioned a few of them. What is the biggest pain point that videos eliminate for techs and advisors?
The biggest pain point that it eliminates, I think, is that distrust, right?
Yeah.
That customer that maybe doesn't know us very well,
Sure.
hasn't had a lot of experience with us, or has had a bad experience with another place in the past. It eliminates that immediate distrust, because I'm showing you could see it with your own eyes. There's nothing to dispute. If I tell you that, hey, you need a tire, or look at this brake pad, it's worn unevenly, it looks like a wedge. So it allows us to then only have to focus on overcoming the true objections, right? Which generally are going to be price or time. It gives the advisors the ability to do that.
Right.
And then it also, the benefits, the other bigger benefits, are more so the time. Again, for the technicians, I need to make them more efficient. I need to give them their time back, and this system allows us to do that because of how quickly we can get the yes or a no. Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow, that's great. That you're headed for another record month then, even it being a short month. So. Right. Tom Druzynski, Director of Service Operations for West Herr Automotive Group, an incredible automotive group, and with 650 technicians, folks, underneath this guy. That's a big job. That'll wake you up there, get you going in the morning, right? Absolutely. So, well, Tom, thank you so much for taking the time out of what is, I know, a very busy schedule to join us here on Service Drive. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, thanks again for having me. Thanks.
Thanks for watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.